Hello and welcome to the couch. Today I'm joined with Carson and Jaden, and we're going to be talking a lot about obviously the games this week, but the main thing I want to talk about is some of like the fringe top 10 guys, or maybe the guys at the end of the top 10 lists at the quarterback position. Guys like Jalen Hurts, Baker Mayfield, Drake May has a case for that, and just some of those other guys that have been having a really great start to the season. But first, how are you guys doing?
I'm doing really well.
I am fantastic.
Yeah,
How are you today?
what are you eating there?
I got some cottage cheese with some heirloom tomatoes
That's it?
and black pepper.
And black pepper. Wow, is that like a
Mhm.
old recipe that your grandma like brought down to you?
No, it's pretty simple, really.
Yeah, that sounds disgusting. That actually sounds so bad.
I'm doing
Look at what it looks.
Dude, that looks
Mm.
so bad. Oh my God.
Mm.
John, it looks even better in person.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
and colorful.
It really is.
I'm
That's the
sorry.
stuff that Bob from Monsters.
Not enough cottage cheese and tomatoes to feed your entire life.
Um, all right, well, let's just jump right into it. What games did you watch on Sunday, Carson?
Uh, well, of course,
The
I
Panthers.
watched the Panthers go on a three-game win streak first. Uh, I did also watch the monsoon game, the Browns and Dolphins,
Oh my
and
God.
watch the Dolphins meltdown.
Yeah.
Um, I watched some of the Eagles and Vikings game from the 1 o'clock slate as well.
Mm.
That was that hurt to see a Jalen Hurts masterclass in that game.
Even though he's on your fantasy team. That's how much of a hater you are. Even if he's scoring you points in fantasy, you still hate
It's
it.
just I don't know, man. That performance doesn't move me.
Oh my goodness. All right,
Who
well,
else was on the
talk
four
about that.
o'clock slate? What was that?
Sure, you guys
We'll
watched the
talk about
Bears
that.
game. I mean, that was riveting stuff.
I watched the
It's the
Bears game.
Cleveland Saints.
I actually didn't watch that one.
The
Did
the
you,
Bear,
Sean?
yeah, I watched the Bears
I
game. We
saw
had
like a couple highlights.
the Bears. The defense continues to surprise me, and like when you look at how well they're playing, like they have so many t takeaways. Like I saw a stat that they have more takeaway. They're on pace for more takeaways than like the 2016 Bears defense. And it's like
20,
there's no way that that
the
is
2016 Bears defense or like the 2018 one?
the
Because their
2018.
2018,
Sorry, 2018.
that's pretty impressive.
I
Yeah,
saw something. The Bears are the only team in the league to score 21 plus every game this season. I don't know.
Are
yeah,
they?
yeah, they are. And
So
It might
so
be.
you see it coming together on both sides of the football. And the defense really doesn't have that great of a roster, in my opinion, right? I mean, Kevin Byard isn't the best starting safety in the league. They don't have a lot of like Montez Sweat is playing well in the recent games, especially in the game against the Saints. But they don't have a lot of edge rushers. But the linebackers are good, the corners are good, and it seems to be a mesh of Dennis Allen's new scheme and Ben Johnson being the new leader of this team because there's just a different fire that they're playing with when they go out there. And the classic stuff that the Bears do, like I was watching it with my girlfriend's dad, who's a Bears fan, and there's a feeling. Not this game. It was the Commanders game, but there's a feeling of like, oh, the Bears are gonna blow this somehow. It just doesn't seem like that. Even the Saints game, I don't think you ever felt like, oh yeah, the Bears are gonna lose this. Now that could have been to that the fact that the Saints are not very good, but I feel like there's a momentum shift. I mean, they've won, is it four straight or three straight?
Four,
four straight.
four straight for the Bears.
And then like it's just such a turnaround. And then coming off the bye and continuing to have that. Swift is looking a lot better, making me eat my words. Because I'm not a big Swift guy.
Really? What'd you say?
I just like with and
Probably
even
said he's a merchant from the Eagles offensive line.
yeah, yeah, entirely. He doesn't have the best vision, but they're finding ways to get him to be successful, and that is, I think, one of the strengths of Ben Johnson is, he's going to improve that roster and make it look better than it is. And I think even before the offseason, right, there was some questions about how well Ben Johnson was going to be in his first year. And so what like kind of what can we take away from the first 6 games?
Hmm. Talking about their defense or is their team as a whole?
Just the team as a whole. I mean, you start 0-2 and then you win 4 straight, but I don't the 4 that they've won, I mean, they beat the Raiders on a last second thing, not a good team. Gino is like
Young,
Gino might finish with 40
was
interceptions.
just by a field goal or like a single point, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they
Yeah,
blocked a field goal to win.
that was
And
a really
then
good.
And then who else have they played?
They beat the Saints and then uh
the Commanders, which was a good win.
Commanders,
Yeah.
Saints, Raiders.
So lost to the Vikings and who they play week 2?
Oh, who did they play in week 2?
Oh, didn't they? Did they lose or beat Dallas? They lost to
They had to
Dallas,
have
right?
lost to Dallas.
No,
Well,
they whooped Dallas.
they beat that. No, they pounded Dallas. Like
Oh,
that was like
that
the
was week.
start of the Matt Eberflus downfall. That was like y'all
Yeah,
put up like 30 or 40 on him.
yeah, so they lost to the Vikings week 1, then they lost to the Lions, and they got mollywopped. Uh,
Uh,
and then they beat the Cowboys, beat the Raiders, beat the Commanders, beat the Saints. But and um also that stat you said earlier that I saw that same Bear stat. Oh no, never mind. I'm looking at that wrong. Anyways, the but the quality of the teams they've beaten hasn't isn't necessarily the highest, right? They win by 1 against the Raiders and the Commanders. The Raiders aren't very good. The Saints aren't very good. The Cowboys, I mean, they obviously have their issues on the defense. Um, the Commanders is a good win, but they I think they kind of had luck sway in their favor with the fumble at the end. And so, not to take anything away from it, but you know, is this going to be a team that makes the playoffs in a really tough division? So like what do we how do we think that Ben Johnson's going to continue to change this team?
I'm not sure if they can sustain the spot that they currently have in the NFC and make the playoffs. I think the more divisional games that they're going to play is going to take a toll on their record big time and really hurt their playoff chances. I'm not sure about some of their other out of division games that they have left in the season,
Well, they
but
play
I think they'll still be a really competitive team in the wild card race. But overall, I just think that they're showing that they can just compete more and overcome adversity a lot better than in the past from a Matt Eberflus led team. They're just staying in games that normally, there's a lot of hype around it. And then it just kind of blows up in their face, kind of like how it has in the past.
yeah.
But they're actually not only staying in these games, but they're finding a way to win them. Like before, I mean, a year or two ago, they would not have beaten that Commanders team
Oh, no.
in prime time. They just wouldn't have.
I mean, you
They
saw it.
were-
They literally didn't beat them a year
Yeah.
ago.
Yes. I mean, that's a good point.
wasn't
And
that some some
that's
little
exactly right.
malarkey as
Yes,
well? Wasn't that like a
Halo.
last second Hail Mary?
It
Yeah,
was. Yes.
yes.
Uh, yeah, no. So I just think that the Ben Johnson effect that we'll see this year is just them being a much better coach team and just overcoming adversity better.
Yeah, and I agree. I think kind of the Dan Campbell mentality has transformed, or not transformed, but translated to this Bears team as well. Like they just seem to be playing with a lot more fire. But they do have a rough schedule. I mean, they play the Ravens this week with Lamar back, so they play the AFC North, which is a tough division to go against,
Yeah.
just normally. And then they play the NFC East. They've already played Dallas and the Commanders, but they still have the Eagles to play. And then their out of
And
division game that they have left is the 49ers.
yeah. And the Giants are really on the rise too right now. So
Yeah.
that's not even you can't really cross that game off either.
And then they play the 49ers week at the end of the season where that they're going to be healthy, hopefully, or maybe they're going to be even more injury deprived. It's hard to
Yeah,
tell with such a fragile roster, but
it is.
they are not really set up for success. I still think that they have a shot at the playoffs, but it's going to be hard because the NFC is actually the stacked one this year, right? I mean, just look at the NFC.
NFC West
Yeah, the
is
NFC
really
West,
insane.
3-5-2 teams, and even Arizona can put up a fight. I mean, put up a fight against the Colts and put up a fight against the Packers this week. So, I
I
mean,
think
I don't think that they're going to make the playoffs, but if they're in contention with that, like the Cardinals you don't count the Cardinals out and winning some games and putting some more uh, risk in there for the Bears.
Yeah. I mean, how many games have the Cardinals lost? Is it 4 or 5?
Five. They're
But
2-5.
yeah, out of those 5, I believe that they've lost all those by a combined margin of 13 points, which kind of shows you how close they've been in all those games and how their record could easily be completely flipped 5-2 or better
Yeah.
if they just had another couple plays go their way, especially in that Tennessee game.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. They should be at 3 wins, and then now they have Brissett starting, who's been playing good, but you could argue that if they had Murray, the game would be different,
Mm,
for better or for worse. But then you even look at the NFC South. The Falcons have been able to play really great against some good teams. Bijan obviously looks amazing. Carolina, like you mentioned earlier, it's a 3-game winning streak. Tampa looks good, and then their own division, and then th I mean, every team in the NFC East looks like they can beat you. So I think it's just this year, every team seems to be a lot closer in talent. Like it seems there are almost no free games unless you're playing the Raiders or the Titans. Like those are like the two teams where you're like, yeah, that's a free win. Other than
yeah.
that, you really look at it. Maybe New Orleans, you take that, but even the Giants played New Orleans and lost.
Yeah, New Orleans still just looks like a really well-coached team, if nothing else, though. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that'll just keep them in games alone. I mean, coaching is really just such a big aspect, and that, I mean, doesn't matter how talented of a roster you have. Obviously, it helps, but they've been competitive.
Okay, and I left off two teams that are also free wins, Miami and the Jets. The Jets literally being a free win, as in they're 0-7, the
Yes.
only winless team left. And I think this is a good transition um, to talk about the Jets. We were talking about the Bears, and coming off the Bears talk, we got to talk Justin Fields. Um, do you think it's the right decision to bench Justin Fields at this point in the season?
Yes.
You okay? So I think we have different opinions. I want to hear what you have to say. Why do you think they should have benched Justin Fields?
I think, and maybe it's just, I mean, there's a lot of things that go into it. There's personal bias, Tyrod Taylor. There is a Virginia Tech picture right behind me.
That's true.
Um,
I'm
but,
wearing maroon right now.
huh?
That's I'm wearing maroon right now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I just think it's kind of like, to me, it reminds me of like a Joe Flacco effect where he's like as the backup, and kind of like how Tomlin had said last year when they wanted to like keep Anthony Richardson in the game, or someone was it, and just like not put Flacco in. Don't injure him. Like don't let Flacco get into the game. That's how I feel about Tyrod, essentially. I just think he's a lot better of a pure passer than Justin Fields, and he's just going to make more sound decisions. But he still gives you a really good running aspect of the offense. It's not just completely obsolete when you take Fields out. He still does that, but I think he just plays smarter and he's just so much better of a passer.
Well,
And so I think especially being 0-7, it just I don't know, their offense looked they looked way more alive when Tyrod came in, and I think that he just gives them a breath of fresh air.
how old do you think Tyrod Taylor is?
He's pretty old. He's probably I would say 33 is my guess.
36. 36
30.
year old
He's been around, man, and he's been doing it everywhere.
and to be at the same almost the same level physically. Like I mean, like you said, he still adds a lot of athleticism to the Jets quarterback
Yeah.
room. Like even
Yeah.
if you take Fields out, you can still run some
Yeah.
RPOs or some read options and have Tyrod Taylor be effective. And
Yeah.
like you said, he's smart. Now he didn't play good in that Panthers game. I mean,
He's not. No.
you can't deny that. Threw two
But
interceptions, two
the
touchdowns.
passing offense at least looked better because Fields, he hasn't thrown an interception all year, which is mainly because he's not taking chances. And if nothing else, Tyrod will give you that. He'll air it out a few times, and you saw it. And unfortunately, the 2 times he aired it out, he got picked off by J.C. Horn. So that's
One was a
normally you want to get
one-handed
towards.
grab.
What was that?
Well, and he also had like the one that JC Horn got was like a one-handed grab, right? Or he got two, but
Was yeah,
one of them
it
was
was yeah, like kind of ran out of space in the back of the end zone. And so like even then that's not even like a bad throw. It's just a really good play.
yeah.
And then I mean, it's not like he's throwing to stellar guys anyway. So they're not really getting a bunch of separation and doing him much justice. But I just like their odds so much better when Tyrod is in the game. They're a lot scarier than a Justin Fields led offense to me.
And I think that Tyrod is one of the premier backups in the league. And I think that he is a serviceable starter, not for a team that's going to probably make it to the playoffs. But there's also the aspect of it to me. Like, yes, I think Tyrod gives them the better chance to win, but you went in the offseason and you got Justin Fields knowing he's still a project and knowing he's still not great. He still gets flustered and now instead of just throwing it and doing whatever, he just doesn't do anything. He I think he just has kind of decided that taking no chance is better than taking the chance. And I think that
Yeah.
that's got to get out of there. That's got to get out of his head. And but you're the Jets. You're 0-7. You're not working for the playoffs. I mean maybe they're not technically out of the playoffs already, but you have to look at it as we're not winning this year. And I think that you got to just let Justin Fields go in, even if you have a sort of committee. I think this is kind of my take on Anthony Richardson in the summer. It's like, look, you knew Richardson was going to be a development like prospect. You have to let him play. And I think that Fields is the same way. Why are you going out and getting this young guy in the offseason that could potentially be your quarterback if you're not even going to play him? And he hasn't played all 7 games. He's been hurt. So I think to me, yes, Tyrod is the better quarterback at the moment, but I think that you got to let Fields go in and play. And I don't think that benching is going to do anything for him. I think it's better to just say, hey, look, we're going to do this by committee. It's going to be the best way to continue to evaluate Fields while still being able to put yourself in a position to, win games.
I understand that thinking of it. I do just think that they've probably tried talking to Fields. I mean, I doubt they've, not talked to him about his play and all that. And I think that no matter what, they're just going to do what they think is best to win games. Because obviously, I mean, we all know the Jets are not making the playoffs. They're not doing
No.
anything. But them still as a franchise, they have to be like, I mean, they don't want to sit there and just keep losing and doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So I think if nothing else, you maybe can put Tyrod in with expectation of putting Fields back in later and just hoping that there's some sort of change. I don't think it should be, uh, the rest of season that they just keep Tyrod in. Uh, but I do think that seeing what you have and just exploring other options is probably in their best interest.
And yeah, I mean, for sure. And it's not like most likely Justin Fields is not going to be the starter next season. Most
Yeah.
likely they're going to have a very high pick in the draft and take a quarterback that's coming out. And it's I just I don't see like I guess it's easy to say from my point of view because I'm not any under any pressure from the organization. But the owner wants to win. I don't think that he cares about anything besides winning. And so I think that I mean, and that's a job. This is Aaron Glenn's job. So it's there's also the pressure from that. And I think that I agree with you. I think even starting Tyrod for a little bit and then seeing what we have with Fields, but I just think that overall it's just a bad situation, and there you could make the most out of it by starting just
Yeah.
keeping Fields and playing by committee, and but they just don't be seeming to do that. Maybe they want Fields to get fully healthy. Maybe he's still struggling with injury. Uh, that could be something else, another element to add into it. But yeah, I think that it's just a tough way to handle a bad season.
Definitely.
But Jaden, speaking as a Bears fan, how sad does it see you to see that Justin Fields is still not good?
I was thinking about that earlier. It's like no one really like from the like a Bears like fan pages and whatnot. I don't really see anyone talking about his uh his fall off. But so I mean I'm not too upset about it personally. I didn't really care much for him when he was with us.
I think it'd be worse if he left y'all and then balled out somewhere else.
Yeah,
That'd be way
it would
worse.
be
Oh,
way worse if he started
the love
the
that
Jet
Bears have
Jets side.
for Justin Fields is so like I remember when they drafted Caleb Williams, Ewan was like he was like the week before he was like, man, we got to keep Fields. We got to keep Fields and trade the number one. And it's like no, like you just can't. You just can't. And so I like or like he said, we should have kept Fields or whatever. But it's I don't know. The love that they have for him is not like any other player. Like any other player, you'd be like, man, I hate that guy. I hope he does terrible. Not for Fields. Every person in Chicago wants Fields to be like a really good quarterback, so they can just cheer by association. Because I think they just felt bad for him. I mean, he wasn't in a great position coming out of college. So
It also didn't help that like the whole team was also like riding for him too. Like
yeah,
once they got to the end of the season and they're like, yeah, y'all kind of suck and everything. And they everyone knew that they would have like the number one pick locked up from Carolina. And they would start asking the players in the locker room about the whole situation with like possibly moving on from Fields. And they're like, no, that's our quarterback, man. We better not change our quarterback.
yeah. It's just such a
Change their
unique.
quarterback, and everyone's like, yeah, we love Caleb.
We love him. It's just such a unique situation. So I don't
It
know.
is. It is a weird dynamic.
Um, but talking about the Jets, Panthers 3 game win streak, getting their next win against the Jets. How are you feeling? How are you feeling? You play Buffalo this week with Andy Dalton instead of Bryce Young. And
We'll see.
how I want you to just take me through the game. What are you seeing? Uh, and how is the defense being able to win games?
Yeah, I think that's the biggest part of kind of what's led to this run is the change in defense over, I mean, last year being letting up the most points in NFL history and just having, I mean, dead last in about every single metric
Yeah,
that imaginable that's important. And then now going to respectable and stopping the run, being about middle of the pack to above average in yards per carry and rush yards per game. And then the pass defense as well, like stepping up big time. And so I think that's the main thing. Obviously, getting Derek Brown helps. Getting Derek Brown back helps a lot. And some of the free agent acquisitions was nice. Uh, but then Rico Dowdle, too. The run game has been vital in a couple of, and I mean, the Dallas game and the Miami game, just about single-handedly won them the game,
yeah,
getting over 200 scrimmage yards in each of them. Uh, but I don't know. I would ultimately have to say that it's the defense that's really been the key for him. I don't think that Bryce has played stellar in really any of these games that we've won, especially the Jets game. I mean, he left early, but just there were a couple plays that I feel like most quarterbacks would have just completed on, and he didn't have any big mistakes or anything, no turnovers, but just didn't wow you with anything. I thought he played well in the Dallas game. That one turnover wasn't his fault. It was a McMillan drop. And obviously the Miami game got ourselves in a big hole, kind of solely because of Bryce Young and the two quick turnovers. But I just think that the way that our offense has been able to run the ball and then our defense finally playing complementary football and just not getting ran through has been huge to being able to actually string together some actual good drives.
yeah. And I was just looking at Bryce Young's stats: 11 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. I feel like, yeah, I don't think that he's necessarily been the key, but definitely playing better than last year and playing up to par. But yeah, I think you're right. The defense is, well, you make a face when I say he's playing up to par. Is as someone who really follow. Wait, what?
I said I didn't mean to make a face, but I mean
Oh,
he's playing all right.
yeah, like that's what I mean. Like he's playing all right, and it's I don't know if that's necessarily the best thing, right? Like
Yeah,
you would rather see him play great or terrible so you could move off of him. If
it is. I
but
mean, obviously you'd want to have a defining answer in year three of the number one pick's career. But you look at how he's at least improved since coming back from the benching last year, and it is a player that you want to invest in long term, I think. Obviously, you still need to see him do more this season. You want to see how he grows and develops, but it's at least something that you don't just, decide, we need to look somewhere else. He's just not playing good enough right now. I think you definitely just keep waiting and seeing how he plays the rest of this season, especially on a tough schedule. Uh, and I don't know. He does have to prove some more because he really hasn't shown too much thus far. And especially with more and more weapons coming back, getting Coker back, and the run game's really going now. I mean, the offensive line's been really, really solid despite a bunch of injuries. It's kind of just put up or shut up for him now.
Yeah. But kind of moving away from the Panthers a little bit, we talked a lot of last week about the Jaguars. Obviously, what I said last week was you can't take the London games too seriously, because there is a little bit of,
Absolutely right.
London, I don't know, something in the London air that makes those games weird. Like they don't play up to par sometimes. But Matthew Stafford played up to par, throwing 5 touchdowns. Now, sorry to all the Kyron Williams fantasy owners out there. I mean, that's the worst possible outcome. Getting to the 1 yard line twice and then the 2 yard line, and all three are passing touchdowns to not Kyron Williams. And
Yeah, it's best. Go get mad at Devontae Adams for taking all his touchdowns.
yeah, for real. And um, but you did see Travis Hunter start playing a lot more, who is another guy we talked about. Hey, we need to be having more explosive on the offense. And they got it to him, 8 receptions, 101 yards at a touchdown. But like I said, the defense got torched. And even though they were able to create a few takeaways, the offense couldn't do anything with it. And so when we were talking about the 4-2 teams last year, um, or last episode, I said that the Jaguars are probably one of the more fraudulent teams, and I think we're seeing it be exposed. But what can the offense do to kind of play complementary football? Because they kind of let the defense down in this one. Because and Trevor Lawrence, he had 48 pass attempts and only completed 23 of them.
Well, like you said, we have to take the London games with a grain of salt. Uh, but yeah, their offense looked terrible. It was really, really bad. Um, and so obviously that kind of I think starts with the run game. You have to get the run game going. But Trevor Lawrence, even when he's passing it, it doesn't look good at all,
No.
which part of that can be attributed to a generational run of drops that the Jaguars are on right now and
Yeah.
the receiving core just really not helping him out and doing him any favors, Trevor, that is.
Yeah.
Uh, but still, their offense has just not looked as good as you'd like it to look with the players that they have there, the talent that they have. And so I think that it just starts with running the ball better and just getting guys more open. And I think that the drops will kind of fix themselves. I don't think that's something to worry about with Brian Thomas Jr. and company. But yeah, I think it's mainly just you need to establish the run better, which is a Liam Cohen thing.
Yeah. Um, and like you said, and like we've mentioned already so many times, like this is a game you kind of take with a grain of salt. But I do think it's the time. This was the game that's like it. This was the truer form of the Jaguars. You see them at their lowest. At their lowest. And you see the, kind of holes in the armor, so to speak. Um, like you said, Brian Thomas is not having a great season. Trevor Lawrence doesn't look good despite the drops. And then the defense, obviously, I think has been inflated by the level of competition they played over the first 6 weeks. But let's go ahead and move on from that game. I mean, I don't feel like there's anything to say for the Rams side, right? I mean, Matthew Stafford looks amazing. The team still looks great. Could be 6-1 right now, without a blocked field goal from the Eagles. Definitely a top contender in the
A
NFC.
tough loss against the Niners too.
Yeah, a very tough loss against the Niners. Could be well in a 6-0. A team that definitely couldn't be 6-0 because they got stomped by the Vikings. The Eagles comes out with a big win this week against the Vikings. You said that you watched a little bit of it, and I just want to say, what a game from Jalen Hurts. Now, I still don't think everything's perfect. I don't do that. Don't do that. It was a great game from Jalen Hurts. 326 passing yards, only 4 incompletions, 3 touchdowns. Um, Still not what you want to see from either the defense or the run game. run. I mean, Saquon has the lowest in the NFL. I think it's the lowest in the NFL yards before contact. I mean, he's getting hit in the backfield almost every snap. And I don't understand really what they're doing with the run game. They're making the offensive line take really hard angles and double teams that don't make sense in order to run the ball. And I don't know if that Jalen Hurts doesn't have the same level of control at the line that he did last year with Kellen Moore, because that was kind of his thing in the Super Bowl, right? It was like, oh, he's this master at the line, or not master at the line, but he's very good at the line. I mean, you saw it in the Super Bowl stuff, right? How there was multiple times where,
And yeah.
huh?
I said him and Peyton Manning just command the line of
Yeah.
scrimmage. Yeah.
Well, but you understand what I'm saying. Jalen Hurts, that was kind of one of the positives to his game. But it seems that this season, I don't know if he has less of that, and that's why things aren't going as well in the run game. But it just seems not great. Saquon doesn't look great in pass protection, like at all. And I still think that some of the routes weren't exactly what you want to see. But I think Jalen Hurts did a great job working out of structure on a few plays. That huge third down conversion to AJ Brown, and then the throw at the end where they kind of bait Isaiah Rodgers and get that big completion. I really like what I saw, and the defense played serviceable. I think that's what they're going to have to do this season. Um, Nakobe Dean comes back. He played pretty well. And then Jalix Hunt having a good game. And I like the addition of Brandon Graham. So I think this team only can get better, and I like the direction it's heading. But why do you think that this is not such a great, uh, show of Jalen Hurts?
I just wasn't that moved by it.
Why is that?
Jalen Hurts would have to do a lot to amaze me. From what I saw in that game, just a lot of the AJ Brown touchdown and stuff. I mean, I think if you had Josh Rosen back there, someone would have given him a 4-year, $100 million contract after what he would have done that game, throwing the
I
ball for Phil.
I
And
think that's going a little far. I think I
I
think that
probably
yes,
underestimated what he would have done.
I think that yes, Hurts
Not let him finish the game.
100% is 100% um helped by the offensive line and helped by the receivers he has. But I think that this year they've leaned on him a lot more, and they're 5-2, and he's throwing one pick. And it's not like he's not throwing the ball. It's when he does, he's taking shots, especially in the more recent games, and he's just efficient. I think he's one of the most efficient quarterbacks. He doesn't really have a lot of incompletions. He I think that sometimes he plays it a little too safe, but I think this game he took a lot of chances. That touchdown he had to AJ Brown was a really nice throw in between a few guys. Um, I think that it's not like Jalen. This isn't the game that's like, oh, Jalen Hurts is top five. It's not like he threw for 405 touchdowns, right? But I think you could say I think that this is the bounce back game where like, yeah, this guy is an elite level quarterback, and this team can succeed when the ball is in his hands. Why are you smiling?
Can you
I'm
believe
just
it?
happy we're on the podcast.
Can you believe it? Jalen Hurts, the quarterback.
I'm not saying he's not a good quarterback. He is
I
not an elite quarterback.
well,
Jalen, not top five Hurts is his nickname.
not
Are
top
you,
five. I'm not
you
saying
calling
he's
him top five right now?
That's no, he said all time,
All
man.
time.
I'm just
no, no one. I just said that he wasn't top five. I said that this isn't the game to say that he is top five, because I think that takes a more than just one game, obviously. But um,
definitely.
I think that also a lot of other quarterbacks are playing really well right now, and that kind of brings me into the next thing I want to talk about is Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Drake May.
Baker Mayfield.
I love Baker Mayfield. Uh,
Oh,
and those three guys really. I think who else would you say is kind of entering top 10 conversation?
Wait, who did you even name besides
Sam,
Baker?
Sam
Baker, Sam
Darnold.
Darnold, and Drake May.
Where's
Those are pretty good names.
Justin Herbert?
Justin Herbert's in the top 10
Yeah,
already.
he's
He's
kind of solidified.
not coming in.
But
He's knocking on the door of top five. That's where he's at.
Yeah, yes. But Baker less so, but more Darnold and May. May's having, I think he's like third in MVP voting right now. Or in odds, not the actual voting, but like he's playing amazing. One of the most accurate quarterbacks, and it's not like he's accurate and throwing it short. He's taking shots, and I like what we're seeing from Drake May. And honestly, this that draft class might go down as one of the best quarterback draft classes. I know we talked about that last week, but it just continues to show why. Because Jaden Daniels is just so good when he's healthy. And then Caleb Williams obviously is playing so much better this year. Um, and he's not even at his peak. But I think Sam Darnold's the guy I want to talk about the most. Is this a good season for Sam Darnold? Like I'm just being so dead ass. Like is this? I don't know. Every time I watch the Seahawks, there's just I don't know. There's something. There's something. I'm like, man, this just doesn't like I'm just so
It,
confused. I'm like, how is this team good? Like the defense is
it
phenomenal, right?
yeah.
But the offense, I'm just like, how is this team good? They just spam it to JSN every down. It's like, who is not?
Yeah, no. Yeah, no, JSN has been a cheat code for him, but feels like I mean, especially, as a Panther fan watching Sam Darnold go to work, it's kind of like every drive, it's just you're almost just expecting him to just go back to what he used to be, just like he's just on some Linsanity run and just go back to him throwing pick sixes, be like, what are you doing? But he's not. He's actually playing really well, like elevating the offense. And I can't say I'm that surprised by it because he always had the talent. Just needed to really be in a good system around him, and I think that they've got that in Clint Kubiak in Seattle, and he's found a system where he's really able to have some control over the offense and sling it because he's got the arm to do it. He's got one of the best arms in the league, and he's able to put it on display in their offense, and it really just showcases all the just all the upside that he has and that he's always had.
Yeah, and I mean, this is showing you why he went like third overall, right?
Yeah.
And he has 17 or sorry, not 17 passing touchdowns, 1,700 passing yards, 12 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and I don't think that he played great against the Texans in that Monday night game. Um,
He,
you know,
he had a couple throws there where you were like, wow.
yeah,
He
you have
was
a, but
on
then
the JSN down the sideline. That was beautiful.
yeah,
Uh, but yeah, no, he was kind of cooking, and then they decided to let Cooper Cup throw it into just throw a book
yeah,
right to the defense. I don't know what they were thinking with that. They're like, Sam Darnold's on a heater. We have to do something right now.
we got to stop Sam Darnold.
We need the receiver to throw a
We
pass to the
gotta
receiver.
switch it up.
But it's just I there's no denying that Sam Darnold is playing well. I just don't know why, but I watch this team and I'm like, there's something not right. Because Kenneth Walker isn't even having like the greatest year.
Yeah, I was gonna say their running backs have not been as good as you'd think they'd be, having a good 1-2 punch.
Yeah.
They really haven't. You'd think that, the run is opening up the pass, but that's far from what's actually been the story
It,
of
it's
this offense.
it's quite the opposite. And before the
So
season, I had the Seahawks ranked pretty low because this offensive line was terrible last year. They go out and get Sam Darnold, who was kind of coming off a rough like 4 game stretch at the end of the year. And then they trade DK. They lose Lockett, who obviously wasn't the same player that he was, but still a pretty good receiver to have. And I don't know. And then losing DK, obviously, that's huge. I mean, DK is one of the better receivers in the league. And so I'm just, Jason explodes on the scene and they're just this really efficient offense. They have a great defense, but I don't know. I am it's just a total gut feeling. I don't think there's any evidence to back this up, but I think that the fall off is coming. And I think there's something that, they're playing a really tough division. They're playing the Rams, the 49ers, even the Cardinals I think could get a win against them out of that. And I don't know. I think it's going to be rough. And I want to look at who they've played. They've played New Orleans. They played the Cardinals once. They lost to
they,
Tampa.
yeah, they played the Bucks real close.
So what's the record? They're
Just
five
face it, they're
and two.
battle tested, Sean.
Huh?
Just face it, they're battle tested.
I think I mean, not really. They've played Pittsburgh, they played the Steelers, the Saints, the Cardinals, the Bucks. The two teams that they played, they've lost. The good teams that they played, they've lost. They played the Bucks and the 49ers. And
The
then they
Bucks one was pretty unlucky though. They were definitely good enough to
oh, they
hang
were
in and beat.
oh, for sure. I think they're definitely good enough to hang in and they made those games close. They lost the 49ers by 4 and 3 to the Bucks, but then they lose to the Jacksonville or sorry, they beat Jacksonville and they beat Houston. I just don't those 5 wins are not as worth as much as the Eagles' 5 wins. And I think that
Who
that's
did the
just
Eagles
objectively. They
beat?
played
Who did the Eagles beat?
they played the Cowboys, the Chiefs, the Vikings, uh hold on.
And already, yeah,
I'm not moved.
those wins aren't
I
really
moved.
probably even there.
Bro, who else did we play? I'm just tripping. Oh, they played the Rams. They beat the Rams. They lost to the Broncos off a pretty rare you know comeback.
Broncos
The
are just good.
Buccaneers they beat the Cowboys, Chiefs, Rams, Buccaneers, and Vikings. I feel like those 5 wins are worth a lot more than the Seahawks 5 wins. So I just and once
I would
they
say there were more, but not a lot more. They're pretty close still, I
I,
think. Even though y'all's wins are more impressive than theirs,
that's what I'm saying.
definitely.
The wins are more impressive, not necessarily the schedule, but um I think I mean I think going on to later in the season, I think they start going to, second or third in their division because it's so tight. I mean, with how well the 49ers are playing and then how well the Rams are playing, I think that they're undeniably going to be that one seed in my eyes. Um, I don't trust this Seahawks team, really. I think that they're on a heater right now, but I think something is bound to cool down. Um, but another team that's been on a heater and they might just be legit, the Colts. Colts have the best record in the NFL. Who saw that coming? Um, and I mean, it's Jonathan Taylor, right? I think you can credit Daniel Jones for playing well, but Jonathan Taylor is a beast. 3 touchdowns against the Chargers. I got to pull up his numbers because they're insane.
He's got like 100 more rushing yards than the next closest person.
Yeah, I
um,
think the Colts game this year.
you should.
The white boys leading them to do their thing.
Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes. Yeah, he's second in carries, first in yards, and first in touchdowns. He averages 5.3 yards a carry per carry.
He's
Um,
in the MVP consideration right now.
oh, for sure, for sure. I mean, honestly, behind. Man, I don't even. I think he'd be above Baker for me with that last performance from Baker. I think it would be. I think I would give it to Mahomes. Mahomes would be my one, and then it would be Taylor.
Where would you have Dak?
See, the problem with Dak is he's played amazing. His team sucks. It's the same thing as Joe Burrow last year, where Joe Burrow had the best stats of any quarterback, but he wasn't even in the damn conversation because the Bengals suck so bad. So like the Cowboys, I mean, I think they're 3-3-1.
They are.
And so it's like I can't put Dak above Mayfield or any of these teams that are really good. Because if Dak was so valuable, maybe Dak would throw for 500 every game. Like
I, I I have Dak above Baker, but not by much.
okay. And that's fair. I look at some of the wins that the Buccaneers have and it's there because of Baker a lot of the time.
I mean, I'd say the Dallas wins are solely because of Dak Prescott.
I that is true. I guess that's true, but I guess the only difference is the team success.
It is.
And
It's a tough spot to be in.
yeah.
Not
Um
his first.
but Taylor's playing like the best running back in football right now. I think you can make an argument for Gibbs and Bijan.
Rico
Um
Dowdle.
and Rico Dowdle. You could make an argument for Rico
Dowdle's
Dowdle.
like third in rushing yards in the league.
Dude, it's insane. I cannot believe that Rico Dowdle is having this resurgence. And the Panthers just gave Chuba a gigantic contract for a running back, at least.
I mean, it wasn't gigantic, but it was like it's a decent
In
contract where
comparisons
like
for
it's a
running back,
commitment. It's a commitment.
Chuba is the Jeff Bezos of running backs, bro.
Please elaborate on that.
What?
Please elaborate on what you mean.
No, I'm choosing not to elaborate on that. Take that as you
Cuba Hubbard would tell you he's not a billionaire, Shona.
well, if the highest amount of money you could earn was running back money, woo, Chuba would rule the world.
What is that art? All right.
I mean, it's not. No, I don't know. The point is that you guys just gave Chuba a lot of money, and now you have Rico Dowdle going in there and being amazing. Um,
It's a good problem to have.
and no, it's a fine problem to have. I'm just saying. Um,
How's that gonna end?
We'll see.
I'll go
um,
throw him to the wind like every other good player
I
does.
hope not. Be like Deontay Foreman all over again, except way worse because he's a lot better.
um, were there any other games you want to talk about? I mean, the Giants, Broncos game was pretty crazy, right? Did you
That
watch any
was
of
cool.
that?
I did watch some of that.
I mean, I think that honestly, we could talk about both those teams. How legit are either of those teams? I mean, the Giants coming off a few really great wins, and then making it close against um, the Broncos, but then
Yeah,
ultimately fumbling it away, and the Broncos now have two miraculous comebacks in the fourth quarter. And I don't know really what's in the water in Denver necessarily, but I mean, it's crazy. What, like, how did they put up,
yeah.
what was it, 36 that they put up in the last, like,
I want to
quarter?
say 33 for Denver that they scored or something
Yeah.
like that. Fourth. Uh, it's tough to say what exactly this means for both teams, kind of, because, for Denver, you played so bad in the first three quarters against the team that you were supposed to manhandle. And then you actually look good, like really, really good in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And then for the Giants, you compete in a game that no one really expected you to, and your offense looked great against an elite defense. And then you just, like you said, fumble it away in the very end. Uh, but to me, I think it says more about the Giants because I don't know how many people expected them to actually be able to put up points on that kind of a defense and just compete with a team of that caliber because their defense is legit in New York. Their front seven is as good as it gets.
Oh, yeah.
Their pass rush is really great. Uh, but their offense, I mean, just Jackson Dart and Scadaboo coming out with Tracy being injured. And I mean, just their offense is really just looked good, a lot better than most people would think with a rookie first round quarterback.
And you kind of can look back at it and say, what? So they're 2-2 with Jackson Dart. You can look at the first three games and say, if Russ wasn't starting, they might win those games.
They might.
Like if they literally didn't start Russ, they could be a playoff team right now if they had Jackson Dart in. Um, I will say, Jackson Dart, you say that he's playing well, right? 283 yards, three touchdowns. He was also 15 for 33.
Yeah, the completion percentage was,
I mean, I want to see what his completion percentage is over the season because I feel like that's the whole season. It's been like,
yeah.
just
I,
six,
I'd be surprised if it's like over 55, probably. I think it's pretty
it's
bad.
60%. He's at 60% completion.
Wow. That's not like awful though.
That's not awful, but it's not great either.
It
Uh,
isn't. Yeah, it isn't
definitely
great by any
being
means, but I would expect
definitely being brought down by the last game. But I mean, in the loss to New Orleans, 26 for 40. Not the worst, but um, I don't know. I once again, these teams that come out of nowhere. I'm hesitant to latch on and be like, oh, this team could go somewhere because one, it's the Giants, and two, they're already so far behind because of those three games. Um, But Jackson Dart looks great, and I think especially during the draft, that was kind of surprised. Like they're coming back at they got Jackson Dart, not Shadur Sanders, and then looking back at it, you're like, yeah, they should have done that. Um,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I don't know. But the defense is amazing. I just wonder how long Jackson Dart is going to keep playing at this level because he's playing pretty dang well. Um,
Yeah.
thrown 7 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Um, he has taken quite a lot of sacks, and I think that the offensive line is going to be kind of the question, right? He took 4 sacks against Denver. Um,
His
to,
legs have been really good as well. He's had multiple rushing touchdowns too,
and
and
that
a
was
lot more of
honest.
an impact than I would have thought.
And honestly, that's kind of the main reason that I think the Giants won that Eagles game was because people would be covered and he would just take off and there was no one to stop him. And even if so, he'd juke him out and keep going. He had a great play on Bond, I think it was, who he made a miss and got the first down. And so I think his legs are kind of underrated and he's able to get some wins, but taking a lot of sacks because his offensive line is questionable. I mean, he took 5 sacks against the Chargers. Um, And so, I mean, you look at he's taken what is that? 12 total sacks in 4 games. Uh, and I think that's going to be the issue, but I think that's also a mix of rookie, he's a rookie, and also the line's not good. So, I don't think they're going to be a playoff team, but definitely able to upset. And if they were a playoff team, that's not you don't want to be the 2 seed playing the Giants because you could very easily get embarrassed. Um, But like I said, I don't think it's going to happen because the NFC is so packed this year.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't think that most people will want to play them because, I mean, with a rookie quarterback and just, I don't know, the way they've been playing, I don't think they'd have much to lose. Not, like you said, like probably not a playoff team playing in a really tough division. I think they're just going to be there to really ruin teams' seasons.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. They're there to play themselves out of a top 10 pick. That's what the Giants are here to do. They do not, God forbid, the Giants get a top 10 pick. They won't let that happen. They're gonna get just enough wins to get out of the top 10. That's what I think is gonna
Not let Brian Dable have a top 10 pick.
happen. Or they might do something silly, or sorry, they might do something amazing, like Colston Loveland to the Bears. How
Yeah.
frustrating is that? I mean, come on. Like,
I mean, that was a layup on draft night. I don't know why that.
but it's not even like I don't think Colson Loveland's a bad player at all. It's like they don't even use him. They literally don't even use him. I don't understand. I don't even know why they would go tight end.
Nope. Look
I
at this
yeah,
Beats me.
guy.
it's it's so insane.
That has been holding it down for a while now.
Cole Kmet.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Oh, anyways, um, I think we'll probably wrap up in a few minutes, but let's take a kind of a preview into week 8. Uh, a lot of these games
Panthers.
are low key butt cheeks. I'm not gonna lie, this is probably not if you're like not a football fan, this is probably not the week to start watching football because all these games suck.
Oh,
Browns, Patriots, no. Bengals, Jets, no. Dolphins, Falcons, no. Like, uh, Cowboys, Broncos might be fun.
That is a good
that's
game.
probably
That's a good defense and a number one offense.
Uh, Titans, Colts, no.
Everyone's talking about the Red Rifle in Buffalo. I mean, there's some good games showing up.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that, but that's not.
You don't know if Bryce is playing or not.
I
Canales said day to day.
Day. Okay, okay. Bears, Ravens. I mean, Lamar comes back.
It's a pretty good game.
Okay, that's a good game. That's a good game.
when
Giants,
Lamar gets stomped on is gonna be so fun.
Eagles.
Who said that?
The
Is this
Giant.
what
Okay, so there's a few good games, but most of these are pretty dog. I'm not gonna lie.
I hit the keyboard.
No, it's right there on the back of the screen.
Um,
Yep.
Yeah, it's a rough little choice out here.
The Thursday night game's not bad, and then
Yeah, no,
don't we have Sunday night get Rodgers playing Green Bay.
that I was literally about to bring that up because
That'll be fun.
I was sent a picture of my girlfriend's dad is a Bears fan, and he sent a picture that was like, "There's no winning." It was either let Rodgers beat every team in the NFL or have the Packers beat the Steelers for the first time since 1970 or something like that.
Jeez.
I gotta pull that up. I want to make sure that's right because that sounds crazy that they wouldn't have beaten them at all.
I believe you. It's more fun to spread misinformation, Sean. I just
Yeah,
believe it.
it'll be their first victory in Pittsburgh since 1970s.
Oh,
Uh, but it's also a Packers win. So like that for a Bears fan, that's the ultimate divide. Is like, does Rodgers help his goat case or does do the Packers win? Um, Jaden, watch Titans Colts this week. It'll help you get acquainted with the absolute fire that is Danny Dimes and Jonathan Taylor.
is that right?
Is that yeah? I mean, they should stomp them. Uh, and then
Should.
Giants Eagles, I'm really excited for that. We got the Kelly Greens this week. Hopefully Hurts is able to bounce back and we don't get if we lose twice to the Giants in one season.
That'd be pretty fun.
Yeah, wait for the narratives I'm gonna push about Jalen Hurts if y'all lose to the Giants
Dude,
again.
you know what's crazy is Jalen Hurts will have 400 yards and we'll lose, and you're gonna be like, "This is why Jalen Hurts sucks." He's gonna complete every pass. He's gonna have 6 touchdowns, and then we still lose because the defense lets up 90 points. And you're gonna be like, Jalen Hurts is not even top 15.
You should have gotten his ass on
Yeah.
defense and made a play.
I'm just the messenger, Sean.
Yeah. um. Yeah. I think that's pretty much it, right? Offensive rookie of the year. Who you taking? I think it's the only other thing I want to talk about. Who's your? It's pretty easy, right?
It is very easy.
Who is it?
It will be Tedero and McMillan.
Oh yeah.
It
Look
is a Mecca Puka.
yeah, it's a Buka. I mean, I think you could argue Jackson Dart because the quarterbacks are normally kind of biased at the awards.
Yeah.
Uh, but Genty not really. Tyler Warren, you could argue too, but I think it's pretty easily a Buka at the moment. And I do think that he wins the award with, Chris Godwin kind of I think that he loses his leg every other week and they just don't let him play. Because he's not playing this week either, and now Mike Evans is out too. So I don't really know what's going on. But
Lots of target openings in Tampa Bay, so
yeah, so
he's
I think
kind of got that by default.
he'll have a pretty good season. Uh, Jaden, who's your offensive rookie of the year prediction?
I'm going Scattaboo just off vibes.
Just on
Funny.
vibes.
Honestly, I mean that's not that bad.
God forbid Roger Goodell hand him that award because he's gonna headbutt the shit out of him when he gets it.
They will be using his brain for CTE studies in like a decade.
Yeah, this is gonna be their reasoning for those protective helmet covers. Yeah, so this is basically why we have to wear these now.
Dude, I wouldn't be surprised if they brought him to Virginia Tech to do some studies. They I
He'll
didn't
be in the
know.
history books for sure.
Yeah, I didn't know that they did a lot of the helmet testing at Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that it was like actually for the NFL level. I thought it was just like youth football. Um,
Big things go on in Blacksburg.
yeah, yeah, man.
Everyone knows that.
It's the destination everybody wants to go to. They wish they could go to Blacksburg, Virginia. Um, I don't know. I think that's it. Pleasure doing business with you on the 3-team trade, by the way.
Yeah.
Very glad to get that done. I've been craving Devon Achane.
You treat them nice.
Me too with Tedero and McMillan.
Uh, we just finished a trade. I got Devon Achane. Carson got Tedero McMillan, and then Jaden got Jordan Mason. No. Rashad White, Josh Downs, and Ashton Genty. He got the haul out of everybody, but able to get some business done. I will say all week I've been seeing videos about how you should fade Devon A-Chain because he's very touched. He's got so many touchdowns. He's not gonna be able
It's
to keep it up. And so I have a little shaking in my boots a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, but still glad to have him.
I forgot to tell you,
Boom or
Sean, that
bust.
he texted me and said he's just not feeling it. He's just
Oh,
not feeling it.
bro, you fleeced me.
Yeah.
You fleeced me. I didn't know that Ted texted or not Ted. Devon A-Chain texted you.
Yeah, we're pretty close. Like,
Pedro McMillan texted you, Shauna?
oh,
Yeah,
what did you
Ted,
say?
He
Ted
said 10 for the text. I'm like, what?
he said he's not playing unless Bryce plays.
Man. Well, good thing Pookie Bear's toughest in the league. So,
Toughest in the league.
perseveres.
Good Lord. All right, well, that's gonna be it for this episode. Make sure you check out the socials for predictions, other videos, stuff like that. Thank you, Jaden and Carson, for coming on, giving us an hour of your time.
No problem.
Yeah. And yeah, see you guys next week.
We want to make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and if you're on mobile, hit that hype button. It really helps the channel out.
The hype button.
The hype button
Keep the
on
train
mobile.
going.
Yeah, better hit that. I didn't even know it was a thing. That's got to be great for the algorithm.
I've heard it is.
All right, thank you guys for watching. See you guys next week.
This podcast is produced by Student Media. Student Media is a student organization at the University of Evansville. Student Media produces the Crescent magazine published online and in print 3 times a semester. Student Media produces several podcasts and utilizes design, photography, video, and sound towards experimental and academic learning in journalistic endeavors and engaging storytelling. Student Media elevates the voice of the student body and connects the campus and community to important information and points of view.